Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to 45 Games reviewed in, well, I have no idea how many minutes. This is just some quick overviews of a pile of games that I've played. Some of these I've already given full reviews to. Some have gotten shorter reviews. And the rest of them will get reviews from me at some point in the future or somebody here on the Dice Hour. So these are just some quick thoughts on them. This time I'm going to go from worst to best. The games will gradually get better as we go through this. Are you ready? Let's get started. First, we have I Am Done. This is a game that is essentially worse than Flux. It is a game that you just play cards and see what happens. The only reason I'm giving it a 2 instead of a 1 is because I thought there was a funny bit where they had a replacement card for a card you ripped up. My son has a very strong, different opinion. You can see that in the review of it I did. Eridanos, this is some sort of battleship game, rock, paper, scissors, where I play a card, you play a card, we see what happens. It does not work out well at all. It is way too complex for how simple it is. 4 out of 10. My favorite things. This is a game that, by all means, I thought I would really like. It is a party game mixed with a trick-taking game where you're giving a category and rating things, and then you play those rated things based on how much you think it's worth. There's so many problems with this game. First of all, production, writing on these cards, it rubs off. Putting cards down, I just really thought the whole thing was a mess. 4 out of 10. Tethys, this is a dungeon crawl sort of in space, and it is super lucky. There's no direction. I found it to be a mess all the way across the board. 4 out of 10. Battle Dental. This is a game that I thought it looks really cool with the little teeth there, and each of the, have these mouths, and you're playing a game that collects teeth. That's kind of gross, but hey, you're monsters. And each one has a specific type of moves. It felt like it was going to be a neat abstract game. Very boring, not very interesting. 5 out of 10. Also a 5 out of 10, Cat Avenue. This is a game where you're collecting cats, and you do that by moving around a rondel, which sounds interesting. So many special abilities. So many times you're forced to take bad cats. Not very good. 5 out of 10. Command of Nature. This is from the Tea Turtle folk. And this is one I thought would be really amazing. The game looks amazing. The rules sound good. The production's great. And when you play the game, though, you're like, oh, wow, this is tedious and slow. It's a game where you have to take out your opponent's general, which is very similar to other CCGs. Not very impressed with it, unfortunately. 5 out of 10. Cube Monster. This is a game which you need to feed cubes to a monster to make it happy and build structures. Looks really cool, but I found it to be slow and boring and unfun when the cube monster gets you. 5 out of 10. Dominion Rising Sun. This is one of the lowest scores I've ever given to a Dominion expansion, if not the lowest. I just didn't like much about this expansion. I didn't like the prophecies. I didn't like the debt mechanism they brought back. I didn't like the cards that you stuck on the bottom of the deck. There's a couple good cards in the set, but this is easily a pass-by for me. 5 out of 10. Dwarf Romantic Sakura. I was not a huge fan of the first Dwarf Romantic. I found that you just were kind of there playing this game. Well, this one's the same thing. Different theme, but kind of the same thing. I thought, hey, and I played it with people who I thought would enjoy it more than me. And they did, but I still don't like it. 5 out of 10. Emerald Skulls. This is a game in which you are bidding on what someone's going to roll on dice. There's a bit of real-time bidding here, but the game is way overly complex compared to how quick and fun it's supposed to be. I would rather play Ready, Set, Bet any day of the week. Another 5 out of 10. Nova Era. This is a civilization building game that I thought I would love. In fact, I really like the rules for this game, but you constantly feel like you are underwater. Negative things just keep happening. Cards constantly going away. I don't want to play a game where I feel like I'm just keeping up. That's not fun for me. Nice production, but 5 out of 10. Operation Barkley. This is a game in which you're making poker hands. Back and forth, a 2-player game for World War II. Love the art, love the look. But the poker hand part of it, it just feels, again, there's so much work involved in slowly making these poker hands that then just feels lucky at the end of the day. 5 out of 10. Phoenix New Horizon. This is the very definition of a Euro game in a sense of everything I did in this game felt mechanical. Why am I going here? Why am I moving here? Because this goes over here. I just didn't enjoy it. 5 out of 10. Setup. This is a game that I did not think I would like, and, well, lo and behold, I didn't. A mix of rummy cube, a mix of making patterns on the board, but with these symbols and the cards and everything. Not for me. 5 out of 10. This next one's a big surprise for me, Square One. I really thought I would love this game. It's a follow-up to Project L, and they took away the polyomino shapes, which was the number one interesting thing of this game. It blows my mind. They went down to just squares. And so now you're just collecting squares and then doing them. It's almost the exact same game with some minor differences. It's definitely longer. They're trying to get you to do combos to get points, and I just found it to be really a huge step down. Nice production, but that's about all good I can say about it. 5 out of 10. Burger ASAP. This is one of those games where you get a bunch of ingredients and then build this burger, and you're flipping cards upside down to build the burger and make it faster than everyone else. It's the same as all those other games. A 6 out of 10. Kind of a big deal. This is from Grant Lyon, friend of the Dice Tower. I would like this one more. I don't love the scoring methods of it. It's essentially you're trying to tell a lie and expand upon that lie or not. And it's an odd party game, and that works best if you don't know each other that well. But also, there's just the way the scoring works. I just didn't love it. 6 out of 10. It's not bad, but it could use some refinement. Portmanteau. This is a game where you put two words together. Breakfast, lunch makes brunch. Smog and smoke and fog makes smog. And so you're making your own up, and then people have to guess what they are. It's interesting, but there's just something that keeps it from being one of those really laugh-out-loud party games. 6 out of 10. Quards. This is a game where you roll dice, and you're taking dice and slowly filling in a grid, making a 5x5 grid of words, and then scoring them. Interesting, but I feel like I've seen the whole thing now. 6 out of 10. Rat Jack. This is a blackjack-style game with special abilities and cards. And I'm amused by the game, but at the end of when I'm done playing it, I go, it was all luck. I didn't feel like anything strategic happened. And there's a lot more work into it than I would want to put for a game like that. But it's fine. 6 out of 10. Rooster Chase. This is a game where you're collecting roosters for points, and you're collecting them over here and then using them to gain cards and missions. It's definitely, you take the roosters out and you're collecting cubes to do this. It's okay, with a funny rooster theme, I guess. 6 out of 10. Adventure Party. This is a game in which you roll a die, and then you tell everyone what happened in an adventure, and they have to guess the number that you rolled. It's amusing. It's like a prequel to an RPG. I almost want to play it more often, but then I'm like, I could just play a role-playing game. But if you can't play a role-playing game, this is something you can do to pass the time. Almost there, 6.5. Altair Dawn of Civilization, a deck-building game where you're fighting on a board. The board is a little messy looking, and the game is really interesting. Build deck, fight, go back and forth, simple. It's just, I don't know that there's almost any replayability, really. It's the same kind of game over and over again. 6.5. Happy Garden, a tile-laying game. Some nice components, trying to lay tiles in specific ways to make flowers and connect them and turn them over. It's okay. 6.5. And Space Bureau. There's another tile-laying game where you're collecting these tiles. Actually, you're collecting tiles to move up tracks, and I do like the differentiation that you can do in this game. There's a nice wide swath of decisions to make. It's just not quite there. Maybe a little long for what it is, a 6.5. All right, let's get to the good games. First, we have Blast Track. This is a remake of a water slide game from the same company. The box looks like an educational product, but it's about making roller coasters. A lot of fun as you lay out these roller coasters and make them go in and out of each other. 7 out of 10. Builders of Babel. This is a game in which it's a dexterity stacking Tetris-y type game, but the pieces are weird and unusual. There's some fun little things that go on in it. 7 out of 10. Deep Rock Galactic. I finally got this one played. This is much lower than I thought I would give it, giving it a 7 out of 10, because I thought it would be like, a 10 out of 10. It just looked like a game I would love. I liked it. I felt like there was a lot of luck involved with it, and there's a little bit of time between turns, and I don't know. There's just something that's keeping me from loving it. But I do like it. The miniatures are great. The theme is fun. 7 out of 10. Flowers. A really interesting little tile-laying game where you want a group of 1-1, 2-2s, 3-3s, but also have groups of colors. It's very, very abstract, but I found myself enjoying it. 7 out of 10. Perch is very much the opposite of a cozy game because you are attacking each other's birds. You're placing birds as an area control game, and everyone's going after everybody. So as long as you know that going in, that we're just all getting up in each other's face, I think you'll enjoy it. 7 out of 10. Rukuni, this is a Gerhard's abstract strategy game, that's all they make, where you are moving as far as you want and placing a piece and then moving it, and you're trying to form groups of your color and stop your opponent. Kind of a simple one, but sometimes that's the best. 7 out of 10. Smurfs, this is a cooperative game about the la people, and you are building buildings, you are collecting resources, placing workers, and running away from Gargamel. Very strong theme, a little bit weird with the components, the house is kind of getting away, but hey, there's a good Smurfs game now in existence. 7 out of 10. Aldara is a big, humongous space 4X type game, which is actually its biggest hit is that the box and everything's just too big. Because actually it's a fairly light game in essence, like Nexus Ops. You get points for attacking of all these different spaceships. You're rolling dice. I mean, it's a 4X game, but it's mostly exterminate more than anything else, and exploit. Those are the two. You're moving around the board, controlling mines, and then just fighting. I really like it. I just think I would have liked it even more had it come in a bit of a smaller box. 7.5. Biome, sort of a animal version of Wingspan. It's going to a lot of people are going to compare it to that, but this one has a lot of differences. Looking like Wingspan's really only the same thing. You're placing animals, you're growing families, bunnies and chicks, little nests that you're growing, sometimes going after each other's animals. A lot of cool things in it. 7.5. Black Forest, this is kind of a chill game where you're just kind of going around and just doing whatever you might find to be interesting here in this world of Rosenberg. I like it. It just gives me a chill. I like it more than Glass Road. I'm not so much, what do I do next? I'm kind of like, move over here and get some resources. So 7 out of 10. One card maze. It's a maze on a card, and you go to the path, and then you flip the card, and you can only go through some doors if the card's rotated a certain way, but some rooms let you rotate it. Simple, but a lot of fun. 7.5. Crown of Ash. This is an area control style game where you are using cards and collecting resources to get better cards and then fighting someone, and it's almost like Kemet, but in a smaller, more focused, streamlined thing. You are going to be fighting and annoyed at everybody in this game for the entire game, and I like it a lot. 8 out of 10. Dominion Cornucopia Guild 2nd Edition, the upgrade pack. These are all fairly basic cards, and I like them all, so yay. Gun It. You're driving down the highway, cars, motorcycles, helicopters coming around you. You're trying to escape them all. That's the point of this cooperative game. Each person's one seat in that car, fighting things off. I'm amused by it a lot. 8 out of 10. Shards of Infinity. I got the big box for this one. This is the new Shards of Infinity. It has all the expansions. And I taught it to my son, and we had a blast. I forgot how much I like Shards of Infinity. 8 out of 10. Soul Raiders. This is a big game from Mark Andre, the guy who made Splendor. This is a kind of a choose-your-own-adventure game that you're working together where you're using card management to fight enemies and do a lot of cool things. It's too big for what it is, but there's still a lot of neat stuff in it. 8 out of 10. All right, Orapa Mine. This is a fantastic two-player deduction game. It actually hit my top 100 games of all time. Really like this one. It's got like Battleship, but with a lot of smart things to it. I just think it's really neat. 9 out of 10. Endeavor Deep Sea. Boy, I keep playing this one over and over and over and over and over again. As it's the sequel to Endeavor, but now you're going down in the sea, which is a theme I love. Quick, fast actions. The game doesn't overstay its welcome. Fantastic. 9 out of 10. And then Rebel Princess. This is a trick-taking game based on Hearts. I'm getting a little weary of trick-taking games, but you know what? I think maybe I just really like Hearts because this is Hearts with some special abilities and some special rules. And while it sounds chaotic, it's not nearly as chaotic as I thought it would be. And you have to work within a framework to win. It reminds me a bit of The Crew almost, except here's the new rules for this scenario, except it's competitive. And I really like it. 9 out of 10. So there you go. That is 14 minutes and 8 seconds. We got all that done in. All right, so that's 45 games, folks. I hope that you enjoy that. If you would like to see, like I said, we'll be doing full reviews or already have of many of these games here on the Dice Tower. And maybe you highly disagree with me on some of these. Let us know in the comments. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.